After the apocalypse began, I was infected and became a zombie. But in my mother's eyes, that was just some new slang popular among teenagers. What she was more concerned about was how to cure my habit of not listening to people. Half of my head was missing, but Mom just thought Grandma had made me sleep in a bad position, flattening my head. I only ate meat, and Mom said I was a picky eater. When the survivors tried to drive me away, Mom stood in front to protect me. Mom was determined to cure her son. When she found me, I had been a zombie for 3 days. That day, Mom went to the garden to pick vegetables. She saw me lying face down under a tree, intently eating something. "Illa, why are you lying here, son? The ground is filthy. Get up, quick." I made an unintelligible sound from my throat and turned to bite her. With quick eyes and even quicker hands, Mom pulled a spring onion from her basket and stuffed it into my mouth. "Sneaking snacks again, are you? Let's go home and eat." Mom dragged me back home. Auntie Zhang, passing 10 meters away, screamed and ran off. Mom muttered to herself, that old Zhang, that old Zhang. Looking at my son like she's seen a ghost. Once we got home, Mom pushed me down onto a stool and started wiping my face with a wet towel. My skin was starting to turn a purplish green, and my eyes had become a murky yellow. "This boy, you've been secretly using my skincare cream again, haven't you? You've put it on like you're dead." So Mom started scrubbing my face vigorously. She scrubbed off a patch of my rotting skin. "This skincare cream is really poor quality. It's peeling right off." I opened my mouth to bite her, so she stuffed a piece of cured meat into my mouth. "Don't be naughty. Mommy's just cleaning your face." At dinner, Mom stir-fried a plate of vegetables. Didn't touch a single bit of it, only gnawed on raw meat. Mom got so angry she slammed the table. "Being a picky eater again. Only eating meat, no vegetables. You're just like your father." Mom took a piece of pickled pork from a jar and tossed it to me. Eat up, you'll get as fat as a pig." At night, I snuck out to bite people, but Mom chased me back home with a broom. "Where are you running off to in the middle of the night? What if you get kidnapped?" Mom found a hemp rope and tied me to the headboard. "Go to sleep." The next morning, Uncle Lee came running and knocked on the door in a panic. At that moment, Mom was sewing a mask for me. Because I kept trying to bite her. "Hong Mei, it's terrible. Everyone in town has turned into man-eating monsters." "What nonsense are you talking about? Where would there be monsters? You must have been watching horror movies at your house again. What I'm saying is true." Uncle Lee pointed at me. I was baring my fangs and growling at him. Mom smacked me hard on the back of my head. "No manners at all. Greet Uncle Lee." I let out a roar. Uncle Lee was so startled he stumbled 3 steps back. "The boy's just going through a rebellious phase. He bites everyone he sees, so I'm making him a mask. Should I make one for your Wang Sai too?" My mother continued. Uncle Lee had already run for his life. Meanwhile, Mom fed me Chinese medicine every day. She kept feeding me ginseng and fuzzy. Every day, she'd smoke me with mugwort leaves, which actually managed to tame me. On the 7th day of the zombie outbreak, our village was the only one left with survivors for miles around. My mom still went to the fields as usual, watering and fertilizing the vegetables. I followed her in the fields, scaring away any zombies that thought of coming close. At lunch, Mom brought me a plate of meat. I devoured it ravenously. "Eat slowly, or you'll choke." Mom watched me and let out a long sigh. Until one day, a group of survivors passed through our village. When Dr. Hu, the group's leader, saw me, his expression changed instantly. "Ma'am, your son is a zombie." "A zombie? What's a zombie? What is that?" "Your son's eyes are all yellow." "That's just jaundice. A little Yinshan Hao tea will fix it." "But he's drooling." "Babies are like that when they're teething." Dr. Hu was at a loss for words. When they tried to tie me up with a rope, Mom grabbed a hoe and charged at them. "Who dares touch my son?" She fought off the group of strong men until they scattered and fled. Survivors, unable to do anything, had to set up camp at the village entrance. They discovered that my mom's vegetable greenhouse was the only one remaining for miles around. So, they came to trade for vegetables every day. Mom traded her vegetables for salt, and radishes for matches. She traded chives for half a bottle of chili sauce. Chili sauce wasn't a necessity, but Mom traded for it anyway because she found out I liked spicy food. It was one of the few flavors I could still taste. "Sister Hong Mei, your son has really become a zombie. He's very dangerous. Mom stuffed a piece of ginger candy into my mouth. Nonsense. Would a zombie calmly eat what I feed him like this? Why doesn't he bite me? But what? My son is so obedient. There's no way he's a zombie. And so the days passed. One day, a young man from the survivor group tried to steal vegetables from our house. I ended up scratching him. More than 20 people, armed with hoes and spades, surrounded our house. Send him out, or we'll beat you too. Mom pushed me behind her, holding the kitchen knife she'd used for 10 years. This is my son. He doesn't bite people. If you drive him away, I'll go with him. He's a zombie, ma'am. Bullshit. My son isn't the monster you say he is. He's just a picky eater. He's just going through a rebellious phase. Mom was trembling with anger. I was squatting on the ground, obediently guarding the vegetables I had just retrieved, oblivious to what was happening. Mom took a handful of mugwort from her pocket, lit it, and waved the smoke around me. Look, you say those monsters are afraid of mugwort. My son isn't afraid at all. Thick smoke made me sneeze uncontrollably, but I stood my ground. Ma'am, it's true that mugwort can repel zombies, but no research has ever shown that every single zombie is afraid of it. Perhaps your son is an exception. Look at him. How can he possibly be human? Stop fooling yourself. Shut up. Mom stuck a needle into my head, desperate to prove I wouldn't bite. This is acupuncture passed down from my ancestors. I will cure my son. Strangely enough, after a few needles went in, a flicker of light returned to my murky eyes. I opened my mouth and uttered one indistinct syllable. Mom. My mother froze for a moment, then tears streamed down her face like a river. Did you hear that? My son called me Mom. What kind of zombie can call for its mother? The survivors looked at each other and finally let out a sigh. They dispersed in small groups. Before Dr. Who left, he secretly handed my mother a notebook. Sister, your son is a miracle. If you insist on keeping him, please help me record his daily life. Mom tossed the book back. No, thanks. I can't really read. That night, Mom gave me a bath. She changed me into a new set of clothes, then sat down to mend the ones I had torn earlier. She spoke as she worked. My dear son, I don't care if you're human or a ghost. You'll always be my flesh and blood. I mumbled in response and played with the toy she made for me. It was a cloth doll she had made to comfort me. Mom hummed an out-of-tune song, while she sewed new clothes for me. I tilted my deformed head and rested it on her warm shoulder. Several months later, more refugees arrived in the village. When they saw me, they would steer clear, until someone discovered I could scare other zombies away. That night, 3 zombies were clawing at Uncle Wang's window. Uncle Wang's wife came running and banging on our door, crying, Sister Hongmei, can I borrow Lila? It's so late, my son is sleeping. I'll give you 2 caddies of sun-dried pork. Wait a minute. Mom put my homemade armor on me. Son, go help Auntie Wang. I let out a roar and charged out. The next day, the whole village knew I could repel zombies. Sister Hongmei, it might be the effect of pheromones. Pharaoh what? No, I mean 2 caddies of sun-dried pork per job. A monthly plan is cheaper. And so, I became the village's strange guardian. By day, I'd squat by the vegetable patch, chasing sparrows. By night, I'd patrol for zombies. But one time, I accidentally gnawed on Uncle Lee's guard dog. Mom had to pay him 20 eggs and dress the dog's wound herself. When she got home, she gave me a long scolding. That's a guard dog, you can't just eat it like that. Then Mom stuffed bitter artemisia into my mouth. The artemisia was incredibly bitter. I stuck out my tongue and cried out. Mom stared at me, then seemed to discover something. Son, why is your tongue red now? It was purple just a few days ago. Mom opened my mouth to check. When Dr. Who heard about this, he rushed over that night to collect a saliva sample. At first, Mom wouldn't let him touch me, but in the end, she reluctantly agreed, demanding half a caddy of sugar as payment. It's a true miracle. The virus is weakening. He just has some internal heat. The fever will pass. He'll get better on his own. You city doctors are so fussy. My mom didn't believe a word he said, but what Dr. Who mentioned did have an effect. He said I still had some brain function left. For now, my intelligence was about that of a puppy. The villagers weren't as scared of me anymore. The children started to get curious. They threw stones at me from a distance. On the 23rd of the 12th lunar month, the day of the kitchen god festival, Mom made dumplings for me. The entire plate was filled with meat. I ate until my hands were greasy. While I was eating, someone pounded on the door. It was Auntie Lee's child, who was having a seizure from a fever. My mom didn't say a word. She grabbed her acupuncture bag and ran out. I followed. I was left to stand guard at the door. The child's cries from inside gradually faded. When Mom came out, Auntie Lee was crying until her voice was hoarse. She thanked my mom over and over. Make sure the child drinks plenty of warm water. And take the medicine on time every day. On the way home, snow fell heavier. Mom trudged through it with difficulty. I followed behind, stepping in her footprints. Mom was muttering, but I couldn't understand a word. Maybe she was complaining about being tired. Mom stopped and turned to look at me. I tilted my deformed head and looked at her. Mom let out a long sigh and didn't say anything else. When spring arrived, something terrible happened. I was wandering near the village entrance and ran into the children. They came to play with me as usual, but in the blink of an eye, the village chief's youngest grandson was bitten by a mutant weasel. It was really just a small scratch, and I was even the one who chased the weasel away. But the incident blew up. They were convinced I was the one who bit the child. The boy tried to explain that a yellow dog had bitten him, but no one believed him. By evening, the entire village had surrounded my house. Even Uncle Wang, who used to support me, said nothing. Auntie Lee just stammered, at a loss for words. Sister Hongmei, this time we really can't let you stay. The village chief was unyielding, insisting on driving me away. Just give us one night. We'll leave first thing in the morning. That night, Mom packed our things into a large bundle. My dear son, no matter what anyone says, I believe you. How could you bite him? These people are so heartless. When you were helping each of them, they treated you like a precious treasure. In the dead of night, Mom led me out of the village by the hand. A newly embroidered sachet hung around my neck. Inside was mugwort, sulfur powder, and a pile of other herbs. Mom's back seemed much more hunched over, but the hand holding mine was still strong. My son, Mom's taking you to see a doctor. There's an old traditional Chinese doctor who specializes in treating incurable diseases. I grunted in response and raised my hand to wipe the tears from her face. This only made her cry harder. You know how to wipe someone's tears now. My son is getting better. We followed the railway tracks heading south. On the 5th day, we continued along the provincial road. At noon, we found the cultivation site. Suddenly, a small, wiry old man with a rifle jumped out of the bushes. The barrel was pointed at my head. Stop, is this your pet zombie? This is my son, Lila. Why do you smell of sweet wormwood? That's right. I smoke my son with it every day. It's an ancestral technique. Come in. My surname is Zhou. I used to be a professor at the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Old Zhou's herb garden was like paradise. All kinds of herbs grew on his half-mu of land. In the corner, there were even a few laying hens. Old Zhou plucked a mint leaf and put it in my mouth. I chewed it twice and spat out something black. He jotted something down in his notebook. He can taste. This is good. Old Zhou gave me a thorough examination. Incredible. The virus's activity has been significantly suppressed. Has just grown in. See, I told you. My son will definitely get better. Old Zhou turned and took a cloth bundle from a cabinet. When he unrolled it, it revealed a set of silver needles. That afternoon, I had dozens of needles stuck in me. My mother studied intently by his side. As the sun set, Old Zhou removed the needles. When the last silver needle was pulled from the baby point on my head, I trembled and mumbled a single word, hungry. Hearing a zombie speak, Old Zhou was so shocked he stumbled backward. My mom was used to it. She took a piece of jerky from her bag and stuffed it in my mouth. Feeling hungry means you're getting better. That evening, Old Zhou had a stay for dinner. During the meal, he told my mother, the virus in his body and the human immune system forming a delicate balance. Your folk remedies just happened to work. My mother was overjoyed. So we stayed there with Old Zhou. My mother helped him manage his medicinal formulas, and I was in charge of patrolling. No zombie dared to come near the place. Old Joe gave me acupuncture every day and brewed various foul-tasting decoctions. My mom secretly added honey to them. When she was caught, she argued, "Chinese medicine is bitter. What's wrong with adding a little sugar?" One day, a month later, while I was chasing a field mouse near the pharmacy, I heard an argument coming from Old Joe's room. My mother's voice was sharp. I thought she was being bullied. When I burst in, I saw Old Joe holding a gleaming scalpel. My mother stood in front of me, shielding me. Old Joe wanted my brain tissue for research. They finally compromised on a scalp sample. That night, Mom was so angry she washed my hair 3 times, scolding as she scrubbed. "That old man is after your brain, my son. Whether you get better or not, I won't let anyone bully you." As autumn approached, the changes in me became more obvious. The variety of foods I could eat increased, and occasionally, I could utter simple syllables. Old Joe scribbled in his notebook. Before he could finish speaking, the sound of an engine roared from outside. "Old man, hand over the supplies and medicine." "Hey, there's a zombie." "I won't let you off, you old hag." You're all looking to die, aren't you?" Old Joe, he's gone mad, we can't stop him. "Fall back, quickly, don't just stand there, go, burn his pharmacy down, slit, let's go, quick, quick. Get in the car, let's go." My mother stumbled and crawled to Old Joe's side. The old man's face was pale, but he forced out one last breath. His bloody hand pulled a notebook from his chest. "Hong Mei, listen to me. Go to the shelter, find my student, Chin Mi." Before he could finish, his hand fell. My mother grasped his hand and cried her heart out. I stood beside her, helpless, only able to mimic a gesture he often made. I stiffly patted her back. We buried Old Joe behind the pharmacy. My mother carefully kept the cloth bag he left behind. Inside, besides the tattered notebook, was a small pouch containing various kinds of seeds. Before leaving, my mother kowtowed 3 times before Old Joe's grave. I mimicked her and kowtowed too. As a result, I used too much force and scraped off the remaining good skin on my forehead. My mother, both angry and amused, applied some of the medicinal powder Old Joe had left for me. We couldn't stay there any longer, so we continued on our way. As we neared the shelter, we were caught in a heavy downpour. Fearing the rain would rot the little good skin I had left, Mom covered me with a plastic sheet. We took shelter in an abandoned toll booth. Inside, 3 or 4 vagrants were already sheltering from the rain. "Sister, my son has a skin condition." In the morning, my mother found that our bag of dried food had been stolen. Shameless people, stealing from a widow and an orphan. Ever since leaving Old Joe's place, Mom taught me not to eat living things. I had to listen to her. So I went and traded for a salted fishtail from a vagrant. "My dear son, we're almost there." "Hello, I'd like to see Dr. Chin. This is a shelter. We don't accept outsiders. Why are you looking for her?" "To treat him, Lila, greet the auntie, son. You don't have to hide it from me. How long has he been bitten? He exhibits human behavior, has a sense of taste. Can eat on his own, and use tools. Sometimes, he can even recognize his mother. Follow me." These are children who were bitten but haven't fully turned. I'm using a serum to slow the virus's spread. Your son is a miracle. We need to observe him. We got to live in the shelter. My mother said we couldn't just sit around idly. She took charge of the kitchen. Her big pot of mixed vegetable stew made even the pickiest child lick their plate clean. As for me, Chin Mi took me to assist with her research. The children had seen many people like me, including their own friends. They weren't afraid of me. There was a little girl named Nianian. She even braided my hair every day. One day, while I was sunbathing and letting her play, I heard a loud crash from the kitchen. I rushed in instinctively. I saw Mom on the floor, a whole pot of hot soup about to spill on her. I grabbed a drying bedsheet to shield her. The hot soup poured all over my arm. My rotting flesh sizzled. My mother immediately got up. She plunged my rotten arm into a bucket of cold water. Chin Mi heard the noise and rushed over. When she saw my arm steaming, she was stunned. He was protecting you that night. Chin Mi gave my mother a small bottle of serum. She seems more hopeful of a cure than I thought. Try this, it might help him. My mother was overjoyed, as if she'd found a treasure. That night, she gave me an injection in the neck. As a result, I developed a fever. A zombie is supposed to be cold. Now, my forehead was hot enough to fry an egg. Mom had to fetch cold water from the well again and again. She wiped me down all night, crying as she did. It's all my fault. I was too hasty. The next day, my fever broke. After a thorough check, Chin Mi made a surprising discovery. The amount of rotten flesh in my stomach had decreased. It was switching to human food. My appetite started to decrease, as did my craving for raw meat. I think the serum might have activated his dormant human genes. My mother didn't understand any of this. She only knew I was getting better. When she saw me drooling over a fried egg instead of raw chicken, she was so happy. She slaughtered an old hen to celebrate. But the good times didn't last. A week later, in the middle of the night, the alarm blared. Our team, out searching for medicine, was surrounded by a horde of zombies at the edge of town. We got in a car to provide backup. When we reached the scene, Chin Mi grabbed the medical kit and was about to charge out, but my mother stopped her. You can't fight them. Let my son go. My son alone can take on 20 of them. He's tearing through zombies like they're cabbage. My mother trotted over. She took out a handkerchief to wipe my face. Look, you've got blood all over you. On the way back, Nianian insisted on a piggyback ride. I stiffly bent down. The little girl climbed up and wrapped her arms around my neck. Our group walked slowly. Chin Mi supported the injured. My mother carried the medicine we'd found, while I carried a fast-asleep Nianian on my back. Her small hand unconsciously touched my rotting face. Nice big brother. Oh, this blasted wind. It's getting in my eyes. The next day, the children held an award ceremony for me. The prize was a paper crown. He might actually recover. No, not might. My son will definitely recover. She always knew her son was just sick for a long time, but one day, he would be jumping around and calling for his mom again. But that night, I got a fever again. Not a burning fever like before, but a chilling cold that came from deep within. My mother piled all the blankets we had on top of me. My teeth chattered. Chin Mi touched my ice-cold forehead. This can't go on. I need to draw a vial of his blood. For testing, Chin Mi drew my blood. The blood she drew was as black as ink. Damn it, deep in the night, I grew quiet. But the rotten and new flesh on my skin began to battle. Here, new skin had just grown. While there, a new rotten cavity appeared. My mother stayed up all night watching over me. At dawn, Chin Mi came in with red eyes, holding a test report. The virus is fighting for control of his human cells. So my son is fighting the virus? Mom gently patted my heaving chest. Keep fighting, my son. Beat that damn virus. I know you can do it. On the third day, I became violent, nearly biting the auntie who brought me food. Chin Mi's expression grew increasingly grim. Sister Hongmei, he's very dangerous now. For the children's safety, we should lock him up for now. No, my son wouldn't hurt anyone. My mother was so angry she slipped into her local dialect. While they were arguing fiercely, Neonian came running in, sniffling. Big brother Lila has a fever again. In the infirmary, I was curled up in a corner, trembling, a thin layer of frost forming around me. My mother said nothing. She took off her padded jacket and covered me with it, leaving herself in just a thin shirt. She held my matted head to her chest. Hold on, my son. Mom can't live without you. Chin Mi stood at the door for a long time, her eyes red. Try this. It's a new mixture, but I don't know what the side effects might be. Is there really no other way? After the injection, cold vapor billowed from my entire body. Mom held me tightly and refused to let go, letting the cold bite her arms until they were bruised and purple. Is it worth it? He might never recover. For a mother, there's no such thing as worth it or not. As long as my son gets better. My condition worsened. Sometimes I was unconscious, other times I was violent and agitated. Once, during an episode, I nearly hurt Neonian. Luckily, I only pulled out a strand of her hair. Neonian sat on the floor, crying in disbelief. Then she turned and ran out of my room. Even after I came to my senses, Chin Mi insisted on restraining me. My mother stood in front of the bed, refusing to budge. Move aside. Do you want everyone to die? Mom grabbed a mop and held it across her chest, tears and snot streaming down her face. My son won't hurt people. You can't tie him up like an animal. My son is conscious now. He'll remember this. Chin Mi froze. The words, "How is he any different from an animal?" were on the tip of her tongue. But she swallowed them. She was a mother too. Neonian's crying came from outside. She had climbed a tree and fallen. Her knee was badly scraped. I stopped struggling. My eyes turned towards the sound. A sob-like groan escaped my throat. Chin Mi hesitated for a moment, then loosened my restraints. Mom immediately rushed over and hugged me. My good boy. You want to go see Neonian, don't you? Let's go see her. I half walked, half ran after Mom into the courtyard. Neonian was crying on a stone bench. When she saw me, she held out her little hand. Big brother Lila, it hurts. I wanted to climb up and pick fruit for you. So you could get better soon. I slowly squatted down and touched Neonian's wound with my decaying finger. I lifted the hem of my shirt and gently wiped the tears from Neonian's face. Emotional stimulus. I get it. I finally get it. Lily's feelings for Neonian suppressed the virus's activity. Strong human emotions can control the virus. Simply put, he loves you guys. He's getting better. Of course he loves his mom. I always knew that. A new treatment plan began that night. Chin Mi no longer just administered the serum. She had Mom and Neonian stay by my side. When I was conscious, they would show me old photos. They told me stories from my childhood. Mom talked about how I got lost when I was 5. I indistinctly uttered the word, scared. Mom was so excited she kept slapping Chin Mi on the back. My son said, scared. Keep stimulating his emotions. The treatment started to work. My violent episodes became less frequent. One day, as Neonian was combing my hair, I pointed my finger at a card peeking out of her pocket. Big brother Lila wants this? You want to do origami? I nodded stiffly. Chin Mi noted it in my medical record. Cognition returning, dexterity improving. My mother's hopes were rekindled. She began teaching me how to fold paper boats with my decaying fingers. Even though my creations were misshapen, Mom treasured them, keeping them in her personal cloth bag. When you're all better, we'll go float these in the river together. Even the windowsill in my room was filled with my paper creations. An ugly frog, an airplane with a broken wing, a 3-legged rabbit. 3 months later, I had grown completely new skin. Even my fingerprints were clearly visible. Mom held my hand for a long time without saying a word. Only large tears fell, drop by drop, onto my hand. I started to understand human language more. Before, when Mom called, Lila, time to eat, I would just drool and pounce on the meat. Now, when Mom said, Wash your hands. I would obediently put my hands in the water basin. Even for these small things, Mom would praise me endlessly. My son is so smart, so well behaved. When autumn arrived, the vegetable garden my mother planted yielded a bountiful harvest. Mom took me and Neonian to pick pumpkins. Neonian rode on my shoulders, her little feet dangling. I still couldn't walk very steadily. With every step, my shoulder and elbow joints creaked. At night, I fumbled my way to Neonian's room. The little girl beside the bed was sound asleep, her cheeks rosy. She was hugging an old cloth doll. I stared at her for a moment, then reached out and pulled her blanket up a little. When I turned back, I saw Neonian's eyes were open. Her big eyes stared at me. I raised a finger to my lips. Neonian copied me. Then the corners of her mouth curved into a smile. The next day, Neonian woke up and shouted, "Big brother Lila tucked me in last night." Hey, nonsense. Your big brother Lila only grinds his teeth and farts at night. Mom paused, then turned to look at me. My son, you're really coming back. But the good times didn't last. That night, my whole body started convulsing. Large chunks of rotten flesh fell off. The new skin was red and swollen. My mother was so anxious she stomped her feet. She brewed all the herbs old Joe had left, and poured them down my throat, bowl after bowl. Chin Mi frantically searched through all her medical books. Finally, she said hesitantly, he's at a critical point. He'll either become fully human, or he'll become a complete zombie. This month's medicine is all used up. The only way is to find more in the city. Uncle Lou and the others went out for supplies. They haven't come back yet. I'll go to the city to find the medicine myself. No, it's too dangerous. It's crawling with zombies out there. I'm not afraid. In the end, Chin Mi couldn't win the argument. Then take Lila with you. In his current state, it's not safe to leave him here. Once you find the medicine, give it to him immediately. Before dawn, my mother started the tractor with a loud rumble. Neonian came running out, sniffling. She stuffed something into my hand. Big brother Lila, you have to be okay. Mom drove the tractor, taking me with her. On the way to the city, she talked to me constantly. My son, hang in there. When you're all better, we'll go home and farm. Mom has saved half a bag of good seeds for you. There are watermelons and cucumbers. And strawberries, your favorite. If your father knew you were better, he would be so happy. At this, my mother fell silent. My father had been gone a long time, bitten by a zombie. Mom drove the tractor all day. I sat motionless on it. As the sun set, we finally arrived in the city. The streets were eerily quiet. Shop windows were shattered, billboards hung askew, creaking in the wind. Mom parked the tractor in front of a pharmacy and smashed the remaining half of the window. Then she climbed inside. My dear, let's go find the medicine. I lay on the tractor, looking up at the sky. The stars were so bright. When I was little, Mom used to hold me in the yard and count the stars. She said for every star in the sky, there was a person on the ground. Then which star am I? The brightest one, of course. But now, I wasn't even a person. Mom searched the pharmacy for a long time, before running out with her arms full of medicine vials. My son, I found the medicine. My mother rolled up her sleeve, ready to give me an injection. Just as the needle touched my arm, a roar came from the distance. It was a zombie, and not just one, but a whole horde. Damn it, of all the times, why now? I snapped the ropes binding me and jumped off the tractor. I stood in front of my mother, shielding her. The horde of zombies drew closer. The one in the lead was missing half its face, its teeth black and yellow. Drool hung from its mouth in long strands. Mom didn't hesitate any longer. She grabbed her hoe. My son, let's fight them together, mother and son. I don't remember much of what happened after that. I only remember lunging, biting, and tearing. My mother wasn't idle either. The hoe in her hand was a blur of motion. She used a brick to shatter a zombie's kneecap, striking again and again. I felt something burning in my veins. I looked down. The last bits of my rotten flesh were flaking off, revealing soft, new pink skin underneath. I paused for a split second. A zombie lunged at me. It opened its mouth and bit down. But when its teeth touched my new skin, it recoiled. I seized the chance and smashed its head. By dawn, the battle was over. The ground was littered with zombie corpses. My mother sat panting on the steps. The hoe was bent out of shape. I looked down at myself. Almost all the rotten flesh on my body was gone. The new skin was a healthy pink. I tried wiggling my fingers. The joints were flexible. Even my fingernails were perfect. Mom. Son, my son. Mom, I'm thirsty. Yes, yes, Mom has water right here. What else do you want? Mom has everything for you. When we returned to the shelter, Neonian was the first to run out. She hugged my leg. Big brother Lila. Your face looks so much better. Chin and I walked around me 3 times. It seems my children have a chance to survive after all, my mother said proudly. She told everyone she met that her son was cured. I finally became Lila again. Sometimes, I still had nightmares, dreaming I was that zombie again. But every time I woke up startled, Mom would be by my side, stroking my forehead. Don't be scared, Mom is here. I gradually recovered, my emotions returned in a flood. My memories slowly came back. When I looked at myself in the mirror, my face was pale. My black pupils were a size larger than normal. When I smiled, I revealed sharp canines. It was a face that was a mix of zombie and human. But my mother looked at me happily. My son is so handsome. The corners of my mouth lifted into a smile. Mom, you're the best mother in the world. Thank you for using your unconditional love to pull me back to the world of the living.